Welcome to our Students of the Game podcast. Today with me is my good buddy and fellow YouTuber, Steven. If you'd like to introduce yourself, Steven.
So I'm Steven in Stereo. If you guys ever watch me on YouTube, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. But today I'm here doing Students of the Game podcast with Pablo, so I'm pretty stoked.
It's an honor to have you, bro. I've watched your videos, and I mean, I've learned a lot from you. I've been wanting to do this for a while now, and it wasn't until you told me that I had what it takes to do it. That's what really pushed me over that.
Well, I remember that day too, because I remember we kind of like caught up right away. It's like the first time I ever walked in, you like introduced yourself, and I was like, oh, cool dude. And then a couple days later, I think you had seen I had posted on Instagram and tagged, and you were like, wait, you do YouTube? So we started talking about it, and I remember that day you came up to me and you showed me this video, and I expected it to be the worst,
right?
Because it's your first video, and mine was the worst, and everybody's is always the worst. But I'm like, all right, like, let me see. And you showed me, and I was like, okay, like, yeah, for a first video, this is incredible, but your personality was shining through, and I was like, dude, that's all that YouTube is personality.
And I appreciate that, man. Coming from you, it meant a lot, because I'm my worst critic. I'm sure we all are. But I just didn't expect that positive feedback from you. And that really motivated me to really like just get the ball rolling and get it off the ground and just starting. So I'm super excited to have you again, bro.
Hell yeah. I appreciate hearing that too. Cause like every time someone finds out you're a YouTuber or something, like the first time, everyone's always going to ask you like, oh, I want to do that. How do I do that? How do I get into that? Yeah. And people always just want to ask that, which is super cool. That's how you learn this stuff, right? But at the same time, it's usually a lot of people saying that, and no one ever wants to follow through with any of it. So not only did like I tell you that feedback, but like the next day you're like, all right, I'm already trying this. And it was like kind of cool, because not only was it cool to like see you actually do it, but it re-inspired me in a lot of ways too, because it's very easy to get burnt out on this. So,
and that's what it's all about, bro. I'm spreading positivity. That's basically the main goal and objective of this podcast, this new endeavor that I'm taking on, to spread positivity, positive vibes, and kind of counteract all the crap, all the bullshit that's going on around in the world.
Hell yeah.
We need more of this stuff, and hopefully I'm able to inspire more people to just get the ball rolling and just take that first step. That's all. Sometimes that's all that you need.
Yeah, and honestly, like what you're saying right now is like that has always been my approach to what I do on YouTube. Because for those of you like don't know, like I do reaction videos. If I'm gonna like, you know, sum it up as easy as possible, I do music commentary. I review music, and I think that I always got into it. Like I like music so much that I can find the good in everything. Like I brought a stack of records to show you that they're all cross genre. Nothing really aligns, but it's all my favorite. And when I started making videos, that positivity part, for me, I was like, well, this makes sense. And I'd see comments back that were like, wow, you don't usually hear people this happy about this or this. And then, you know, the more videos I would watch, I'd realize you can get a lot of views if you're super critical, but that is not my personality. I like to catch I like that you want to like spread positivity with the space that you're going to anyways, because dude, it's so easy to be a hater. It's so easy. If I wanted to fucking hate can I curse on this?
Yeah, absolutely.
If I wanted to fucking hate everything, dude, I'd be rich and I wouldn't give a fuck about anybody. And I couldn't do that.
No, I mean, like I said, it's all about inspiring people. You never know whose life you're gonna touch. Like when you told me, you were like, dude, if I can do it, you can do it. That to me spoke volumes, because I'm like, this guy has 300,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. I'm like, I haven't even started, and he's telling me that I got what it takes. So again, I can't thank you enough. And
hell yeah, man.
Again, thank you so much for being here, Steven. I wanted you to share with the audience what and how you came about becoming a YouTuber. What made you have the courage to say, fuck the 9-to-5, fuck that, you know, the machine, and just go and spearhead into your own endeavor, or this voyage that you had as a YouTuber / music reviewer?
Yeah. So I wanted to be a YouTuber, and before that, I wanted to be like, I tried like to stream before, and then I wanted to be a YouTuber, and I wanted to make fitness content, and this was in like 2016, and I tried it, and it was fun, but I worked all the time too, and that balancing act is really hard when you're stuck in that 9-to-5 and you're still trying to grind. Sure. So I was doing it, and I realized, you know, this isn't my thing, and this was right before fitness YouTube broke, so like part of me was like, should I have stayed on to that?
Yeah.
But I didn't. Christian did though. Christian Guzman, and then you see where that went.
Yeah,
but
no, exactly.
So, I ended up catching a job. I got a great job at Whole Foods, and I like didn't have any experience or anything, and I made great money. And then a couple of things happened. My wife wanted to go back to school because she does anesthesia, so she wanted to go back. And to do that, we had to travel. So I moved to Arizona. I'm working for Whole Foods. She finds out she's gonna have to travel to all these locations, and like she's gonna be no one's gonna be there to support her. She's just gonna be traveling to all these cities. And I was like, oh, this really sucks, but I'm sorry, for a year and a half, that's what you're gonna have to do. I was the only one with a job. And she looked at me and she was like, well, you're gonna have to quit the job either way, because I can't go by myself and I don't want to leave you. So at that point, it's kind of like sink or swim. And I dove all into trying to have a clothing company and be on YouTube. And being on YouTube, it was like very important to me. I wanted to be on YouTube. Tried fitness YouTube, didn't work. And at that time, I'm working all the time. I just wanted something different that would work. And I tried fitness YouTube. I tried a couple of like at-home marketing things, trying to make money with surveys, anything, because I was so sick of the 9 to 5. I couldn't have a boss. And that was really difficult. So moving on, my wife wants to go to school for anesthesia, so she's going to have to quit. We're going to have to move. We end up in Arizona. I'm working at Whole Foods. I have this great job. And at the same time, I wasn't fulfilled. So I kept getting the money and I felt the success, but I wasn't feeling fulfilled. My wife comes to me and says, hey, I'm going to have to leave for a year and a half to travel by myself across the United States to finish out my hours to get this degree. And she's like, okay, what are you going to do? Because I don't want you to go by yourself. And she's like, well, the only thing that I can really do is you're going to have to quit and come with me, because I can't do this by myself. And at the end of the day, she's got to make a great living. I didn't have to work,
Right, for sure.
But that was 2 years of us traveling. Neither one of us had a job. She wasn't being paid. And I just got on YouTube because I needed an outlet.
Right.
And so I started making vlogs. And one second. So I started making vlogs. I know. So I started making vlogs, and nobody's really watching them. But I feel like I have the personality. I keep seeing the comments. People are like, your personality's so great. But it's like I'm making vlogs, and I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall.
Yeah,
there's no traction. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still working, so like I'm trying to like do vlogs on the side and hope that one day YouTube is kind of a thing. And one day my brother comes to me and he's like, dude, you've always been like so passionate about music. Have you ever done like a reaction video? And I was like, I don't know what that is. Right. And I'm going to be honest, like the whole idea seems so silly to me at first. I did not understand what the point of it was. So my brother's like, rather than showing me what it was, he just told me to try one. Mm-hmm. And I'm really glad it happened that way, because I got to develop my own personality on YouTube right away. I didn't mimic anybody or anything like that. And I got on YouTube and I just started talking about music, all different genres, all kinds of whatever. 1 view, 2 subscribers. You know what it feels like? 3
man.
subscribers, 4. And I'm like, wait a minute, 4 subscribers. And I didn't know any of them. So I kept refreshing and I'm watching it, 100 subscribers. And I'm like, wait, 30 days later, 1,000 subscribers. Next 30 days, 10,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers in my first year.
There you go.
I'm going to be honest with you. What I do for a living, you watch it on, it seems so odd, but it makes so much sense to me to be able to nerd out about music with somebody in a way that feels like when I listen to an album, it's like there's a room of people in there with me and we're all listening to it together. It may just be me with one record talking to a camera, but that being able to portray that through the screen, it not only like my path to become a YouTuber, but why I stayed a YouTuber. Money, like I said, 2 years, I didn't even make money, but it's solidified that even if it didn't make money, this is something that is very important to me.
That's awesome, man. I mean, the fact that you actually kept pursuing and just kept going day in, day out, even though at the beginning, nothing at the beginning is easy.
No.
I'm myself being in the fitness industry. My business is super successful right now, but at the beginning it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't see the 12 years that I've did before this point in time.
Yeah.
Of the grind, the day in, day out. And I mean, I can relate to that. So I mean, that really is inspiring, like I said. And if to anybody that's out there just waiting for that perfect moment. It doesn't exist. I mean, you just gotta take that first step.
And that's really it. Like anytime anyone asks me about any of this that went down and how it happened, you know, part of it is luck. I do believe there's a piece of that of luck, but I'd say it's like 5% because we've talked about this before. 95% of success is just showing up. Half the people will give up as soon as you're failing. Yeah. And not getting a paycheck for 2 years is hard.
Absolutely.
I went from, you know, money's money, but 60 grand for like being 24 or something was a lot of money for me at first.
Absolutely.
Right. And I had that stable job and I had health insurance and I had all those things, and to have to quit was like the hardest decision to make. And then to go with no money for 2 years after living a certain lifestyle, there is no perfect time. No. That was not the right time, and it worked. And I'm really fortunate, but I showed up every day without a paycheck. And I think that speaks volumes.
Well, that it really does, and congratulations, man. Kudos to you. You deserve all the credit in the world. And Steven, for any advice that you might have for any aspiring YouTuber, content creator / influencer that you learned along the way that could potentially give them a head start, if you will, or not necessarily a head start, but you know, like nobody taught you anything about being an influencer, YouTuber. Yeah. Nobody taught me anything about the fitness industry. Yeah. I had to figure it out myself, or about business in general. I had to figure it out myself. Yeah. Anything that you could, any advice that you think is super important for anybody that's out there just starting up? Yeah.
So there's definitely a lot. I would say the first and foremost, if you're getting into it strictly to make money, don't, because it's going to require a lot of days of passion.
Great advice.
And so if it's about the money, don't, because guess what? Money comes and money goes. But if you don't love what you're doing, it's going to creep in. And Amen. I think anyone can attest to that. If you've like dedicated so much time to something and what you got paid back for it is not what you put value on, you got to value the creativity and what you're putting out. And then good luck. And hopefully it works out. And guess what? Consistency matters. We just talked about this. I feel like if you're starting a YouTube channel today, start a YouTube channel today. Everybody is starting their YouTube channel. Nobody, if you start it and you're consistent and you're making what you want to make,
absolutely,
there's no reason you can't be successful. We talked about this. My YouTube channel personally doesn't make money because I like to talk about music. So I, again, talk about money. I forego the money that could be made on YouTube because I think it's part of the experience to hear the music. So I consider it me renting the music from the record label. Yeah. They just get the money for it. But I feel like, what was I saying?
You're giving them advice about, you know, like not doing it because of the money, simply because of the money. Yeah. You gotta be passionate about it.
Yeah.
So
and that's basically the second part was really cool. What did I?
Yeah, about the.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, basically you just elaborated on that. Yeah. It's okay. We can
No. Yeah. I just want to. I'm so weird because I'm usually just talking here, so I feel like I keep leaving you out. I mean, and I'm like,
this is new for you. This is new for you. Yeah, and we don't even have to edit it because this is awesome.
No, the last time I was in this many rooms.
I am learning a lot just from watching your body language. The fact that you keep looking at the camera, and I mean, it's teaching me a lot.
Okay, because I feel like, I guess normally I can gauge what's going on based on it's just me, but I always feel like I overtalk everybody.
This is I mean, unfiltered, and I love it.
Okay,
I feel like the audience would appreciate it because I am learning a lot too from watching you right now. Literally, like, oh my God, look at him! Like, he's so natural. He's so.
Okay, that makes me feel better because I'm over here like I don't know what vibe you want to go for, but I can fucking talk all day.
This is unfiltered. I want people to get to know me, the person, a little bit more, and just understand that I love bringing people on here that are, I mean, you're just showing right now raw passion to the point that you were trying to make. If you are doing something simply because of the money, you're going to learn to hate it fast. No matter how much money you make, it's going to, end up owning you. Yeah. Do something that you're passionate about. Keep grinding. I mean, it's like me with the fitness industry. I am extremely blessed to have been able to make a career out of one of my passions.
Oh, you're living the dream.
I'm fitness. Yeah. Fitness. And when I started this endeavor, I'm not chasing money. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not. I am shooting for the stars, of course, because that's how I do things. Absolutely. I always strive for excellence in anything that I do. But I'm not chasing money. I'm not chasing money. I want to have fun more than anything. If I wasn't having fun, I mean, this definitely took me out of my comfort zone because I am usually an introvert. Mm-hmm. But hearing people saying you should share your story, you should do this.
Yeah.
Oh my God, talking to you, it really inspires me to want to start my own business. Just simple conversations that I have with people like that really pushed me forward to do this. So no, man. I mean, you're doing great. You're doing great. I know it's your first time. Like,
well, and for me, like, one of the things that are so signature in my videos is that I ramble. So like when we talk about like Patreon and we talk about, I have these longer videos, it's because I can't shut up. But when you're passionate about something, it really does. I mean, this is what it looks like. It comes out in waves.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's one of the things that we first latched on to when I met you is once we started talking about business and stuff, because, for a lot of my fans that maybe don't know, like I wanted to own a gym. Like I wanted to be a fitness influencer, fitness vlogger, that's what it was, and own a gym. Maybe I was copying Christian Guzman, I don't know. But watching that was like amazing to me, but then it just seemed unattainable. Yeah. But it's like what you said, where someone tells you, hey, someone who does it tells you, hey, you might have this. You want to try it.
Absolutely.
I never thought it'd be possible to own a gym, and I see you, and you're younger than me, and you own the gym, and you had a grind similar to mine. That's inspiring. So even though our careers could not be further from each other, they align in so many ways. Just from it does take creativity to be a gym owner. It requires creativity. It requires passion and a lot of no payment for a while until you.
Oh my God, man. Tell me about it. I mean, it was a grind. I mean, it's and that's not the point of the podcast today. One day I'll make a video potentially at my gym, and I'll just go over the story. But yeah, you're right, and it's a grind. And I mean, but yeah, no, that's awesome, Steven. You mentioned in one of your earlier rambles, if you will, you're talking about nerding out over music.
Yeah.
And I'm a music lover, as you could tell. Yep. I mean, I got my Led Zeppelin poster over here. I got my Nirvana shirt on. I mean,
we're in the it's like the cave in here.
Absolutely.
There's a lightsaber.
Yeah, I mean, I got all kinds of props. So again, I want people to get to know me, the person, a little bit more. I like a lot of things, and most of the things that I like, I am tremendously passionate about.
Sure.
To a degree, and depending on what it is. I wanted to talk to you about music. You review music a lot. You particularly or mainly review pop music, right? Pop. But me and you hit it off talking about rock, because we got a rock. Rock is my favorite genre. All kinds of rock, classic rock, grunge rock, metal rock. I mean, you name it. But I also like all
Do you
types
like The Rock?
The Rock? You mean the wrestler?
Yeah.
I mean,
is he still considered a wrestler?
I
mean,
really
he's always a wrestler to me.
I mean, I've seen a couple of his movies.
So, do you smell
what The Rock is cooking?
The Rock is cooking.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. What was I saying, dude?
Exactly.
What was I saying?
Exactly.
About music. About rock. That we like rock. We both like rock. And I wanted to. I know you. Like I said, I know you review pop, but I wanted to see. But kind of put you on the spot, and have you name. And I'll give you my 3, but I'll have you or each other share with us, with each other, 3 albums that we can listen to from beginning to end.
Okay.
Yeah, like I guess it could be your favorite albums.
Sure.
Doesn't necessarily have to be your favorite albums.
Sure.
To me, they're some of my favorite albums. But yeah, an album, 3 albums that you can listen from start to finish and never get bored of.
I have to go first.
We'll do 1 and 1. How about that?
Well, okay. You
No,
do
you
one.
start first. You
Okay.
start first.
Okay. Well, hold on.
Oh, this guy came prepared, man. I didn't bring.
No, but you asked a music nerd about one favorite album, so this is what I consider one. So,
and I understand that it can be tough because
no, it's not tough at all. This is one.
Okay.
This is, AFI All Hallows EP. It's an EP, so maybe not considered an album. This is one of the greatest.
What genre is that?
This is punk or hardcore. AFI, you've probably heard. They ended up being very popular, but this is the greatest of all time.
Okay.
So this is my favorite band, Bayside, Sirens and Condolences.
Okay.
It's the best album, front to back. Drake's Take Care. Not only is it the greatest album, I'll Fight You, but also it really inspired me to get into hip hop production because the production's incredible. You go ahead.
I do like that Drake album.
Do you?
That's one of my favorite Drake albums. And I do like Drake in general. I like his earlier stuff, like
do you see his penis?
around that. No, I did not see his penis. Dude.
It's trending.
What's everybody talking about? Drake's
Dude, it's
snake or whatever? Like
it's
that's
trending.
like, what the
It's trending
fuck?
on the internet.
I understand that.
Let me tell you our
if you're
culture.
Asking me if I Googled.
Oh no.
Genitalia,
Like
I did not.
I saw it on Twitter without googling it. That's why I asked. Let me tell you the society we live in.
Yeah.
Not that it. Toby Keith, country artist. He just
Right,
died
he just
yesterday of
died. I
stomach
heard
cancer,
that.
right?
He just died,
He
yeah.
had 30,000 tweets. Drake's penis had 200,000. That's our society.
Priorities, I guess, man. I
mean, dude, if my nudes ever
I
got
did not
leaked,
contribute to those views, by the way.
I'm just saying, if
Either
my
or.
nudes ever got leaked, I wish I looked like Drake. You know?
So you've seen it. Anyways,
Yes, I have. Go ahead.
maybe we can get a graphic up because I don't have a LP like you. I'm not as prepared as you. But I now go from oldest album and then
Okay.
release date, I should say. And
I should say before you even say this, I'm gonna be stumped. I bet, because if my fans don't know this, but like rock or like classic rock or
Yeah.
like a lot of that,
Oh,
I've
for sure.
missed that whole genre.
That's okay. I mean, it's okay. Maybe we can share. I mean, my point here
Exactly,
is to
that's
get
the whole
more
reason this
more
is sick.
exposed to other music. Some of the music that you like, I don't particularly. That's not my go-to.
I know, yeah.
But I'm always open to exploring different genres and whatnot.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You'll have to stay tuned to
Absolutely.
my channel.
Oh yeah, we got something cooking for sure. So, anyways, number one of the albums that I can listen to from front to back, and this album really opened my eyes to, arguably, in my opinion, the greatest rock band of all time.
Okay.
A classic rock band of all time. I got their poster back here. Led Zeppelin. I'll never forget. I was in 8th grade. It was a summer. 8th grade going into high school. I go up to my dad and I ask him, Dad, what's this song everybody keeps talking about? Stairway to Heaven. He says, pull out my Led Zeppelin records. We were told at a very young age.
So
my dad
sick.
had his records, CDs. CDs. He's a CD guy. Do not even look in the direction of those records. If you if you even touch those records, it was bad.
Prized
And
possession.
Oh my god.
Love that.
He let me fucking touch it. He let me grab it. He pulls out Led Zeppelin 4, which is the album. Led Zeppelin 4. Led Zeppelin has no bad albums, but Led Zeppelin 4 in general. Black Dog, When the Levee Breaks, and of course, Stairway to Heaven. I mean, that to me changed my life.
Hell yeah.
Forever, dude. Forever. To the point where I was obsessed with the song, and I really couldn't get enough of it. I would YouTube it. I used to listen to it backwards because
Oh my
apparently if you listen to Stairway to Heaven backwards, there was a satanic message in there or whatever, which I don't agree, but anyways, I love that. I love that album. That's my number one album that I can listen to from start to finish without missing a beat.
I love that. I love the passion.
Absolutely,
I love
man.
the storytelling
Oh, yeah.
element of
Oh,
this. Like a good song, it unfolded so beautifully.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Absolutely, man. That's, I mean,
Everyone
like I
says
said-
they're passionate about music, but
Yeah.
that's what passionate about music looks like. That was a story, a whole. I mean, that is what. But this is why I love music so much.
Oh, yeah, for
I think
sure.
everybody's got one thing they're into more than anything. But I think I can go like full dummy when it comes to music because I'm fascinated by one small chord progression or one little note that's over here or one vocal change enough that I'll listen to the same song for like 300 times in a row because
for sure.
at this one spot. But on top of that, there is a life that lives with all of this music that goes outside of listening to it. And that right there, the memory unlocked
Oh
of
my
your
God.
dad sharing that is exactly why I love music.
And I think that to that point, I think most people attach a specific song or specific memory when it comes to music when it comes to music to a specific memory, and that's all it is. I mean, music doesn't have to. There could be a song that you're like, oh my god, that song is fucking crap or whatever. But to somebody else, it unlocks, it takes them back to a simpler time in their life or a happy time in their life, and they like that song simply because of the experience that what they were going through during the time that they discovered that song.
Yeah.
And there's some songs that I'm like for example, you were wearing a Typo Negative. I'm completely off track, but you were wearing a.
Do you like Typo Negative?
Yeah, I don't like Typo Negative like that.
You seen Peter Steele's dick?
Fuck, dude. What is it with you fucking dicks, dude?
They're available. He did a Playgirl shoot.
Fucking know, dude. I don't know.
I don't know. You name a musical artist, their
dude.
penis is on the internet.
God, dude, I don't know. I do not go out of my way to research freaking celebrities' dicks. Okay,
You're
All right.
trends.
You're gonna give my audience a bad impression of me, dude, or a wrong impression.
Everything's
of me, whatever,
phallic shaped at his house too. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I got dildos all over the fucking house. Anyways, this song called "Love You to Death."
Oh yeah.
And I listen to that song right now, and I'm like, okay, it's not like my cup of tea.
Sure.
But when I discovered that song, I was going through some shit in my life, and I'll throw that song on, and it'll take me back to to that point in my life.
Yeah.
And that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
We can attach certain memories or certain times in our lives to a specific song or an artist or an album. And that's all it is. That's what I love about music. But to stay on track, what's album number 2 for you?
So I'm gonna be a little bit more beautiful with my words.
More albums, I should say.
Yeah.
I said 3, but you already gave us 3, so I'm gonna stick to 3. But you
All
do your thing, bro.
Let's go here. This is a hardcore band from Baltimore. Hardcore is a genre of like punk, so a little bit harder punk. So this is Ruiners. Prepare to be let down. This is the second greatest band in the world, next to Bayside. This record's really important to me because just like you were bringing up, kind of like a spotlight on a moment in your life. This is like a negative moment in my life, but this record saved my life because I definitely wanted to die. No, it's things you go through when you're 16 and 17.
I can relate to that, bro.
Yeah. And so this record right here saved my life. And I know that seems so cliche, but like it really did. I mean, I can recite
Not
this
cliche
thing
at all.
front to back. I would tattoo it on my face. Like I've seen this band live. I've traveled to see them. They're not a band anymore, but it's just a album that brings me to a time when you're going through a lot trying to figure out yourself. Like I'm like 16, 17, 18, you're going through your first major breakups and life feels really weird. You're supposed to be like on this next path, but
It's a difficult time in anybody's life.
you're still a kid, you know?
Yeah, you're a kid. You're a fucking kid.
And I just felt like I just went through this like really bad car accident, so I like couldn't skateboard anymore. I mean, I like just didn't want to be there anymore.
Sure.
And yeah, if not for this, I don't know. So it's one of the most important bands. You know what's crazy? Nobody knows this band.
I don't know that band.
Nobody does. Yeah. Like they were on an independent record label.
So would you say they have a cult following?
No,
not at all.
No, even when I went to their reunion, like I went and saw Ruiner in 2017 in Anaheim at the Chain Reaction. For those of you that are familiar with that area, and there was maybe like 30 people there. So that's why another thing about like my channel. You'll go on there and you can see like I have a lot of videos that don't get a lot of views because I don't care about that. I will review a band even if you've never heard it. And I think that's like a big thing. People like to come back to my channel. They'll be like, wow, this video, you have 300,000 subscribers. Your video has 100 views. Yeah, that band's got 20 followers. I just thought it sounded good.
After we get done, I definitely want to check them out.
Yeah, it's a little bit,
check that out.
It's definitely poetry set to very aggressive vocals. So it's fast, it's harsh, but the lyrics will just break your heart.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't think it's true, but in a interview they did say every song's about heroin, but I don't think that's true. I think they were just being
kind of like
dicks.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Imagine that.
Yeah, for real.
For sure, though.
Okay, sweet, man. That's awesome. So my idea was just to share like different albums, but I love what you're doing. I love that you're tying in a memory. How you discover the band?
Well, the way you described yours was just so elegant. It's more how I would do it on my channel, and it made a lot of sense to me.
So I'm gonna go.
I want you
to take it a run, man.
Yeah.
So the next one is a album that came out in 1994. The way that I discovered this band was, I again another dark time in my life. I was 18 years old, and I was a full-time athlete, a full-time student, and I was working full-time. So it was a very difficult time in my life. And at this point in time, we only had one car for the whole family.
Sure.
So I needed to get up at 4:00 in the morning to go drop my dad off at work, come back, maybe take an hour nap, then get ready for practice or school, whatever I had. And this particular time, I was very depressed. And I turned on the van that we had. We had a minivan, a town and country, Chrysler van that we had. And this song is playing. The song was Black Hole Sun, which is
yeah.
one of my favorite songs ever. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm absolutely obsessed with that song. I love that song. And that started my my little dive into like grunge music. I had heard of Nirvana before and all that stuff, but I really fell in love with this song. And the album that I'm speaking of is where Black Hole Sun is from, and that is 1994's Super Unknown by Soundgarden. Chris Cornell is the vocalist and my favorite all-time artist. And that album, just right now, today, in February 2024, I am currently obsessed with a song on there. For anybody that wants to check it out, it's called Fresh Tendrils. It's at the very end of it, but the whole album, I can listen to that album from beginning to end. Every single fucking song slaps, dude. And that's what I'll throw on when I'm like working out.
Hell yeah.
Or I'm doing a car ride.
Hell yeah.
A sunny afternoon and windows down. That's what I'm fucking blasting, you know? So yeah, I mean, that's that entire album is just freaking amazing. I mean, we're talking about Fell on Black Days. I mean, I'm about to mention some bangers. So anybody that wants to listen, Fell on Black Days, Spoon Man, Black Hole Sun, Limo Wreck, Fresh Tendrils that I just mentioned.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's anybody that wants to check it out, thank me later. You're welcome.
Totally
So,
recommend, by the way, diving into Chris Cornell in general, especially once you end up in Audio Slave.
Oh yeah, I mean, anything Chris Cornell touched was
Yeah.
fucking gold.
Absolutely.
I mean, in my opinion, the greatest rock voice of all time. In my opinion.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I mean, he was so amazing. And I mean, I named my dog after him, Cornell.
I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
my dog's name is Cornell.
That's amazing. I love that. So I have a story about Black Hole Sun
go
because I'm a little older than you, and I was 4 when Black Hole Sun came out, but I actually remember as a single.
Right.
Wait, should I stop?
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. So I remember when Black Hole Sun came out, I was 4 years old. I was at my grandmother's house. She lived in Houston, and I was laying on the bed, and the video came on. And it's crazy because to this day, that is still the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. Like
The
there,
MTV video, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So there is like, and it has to be because of the age that I was. I'm glad it happened because obviously, like I remembered that band. I became very infatuated with music at a young age because of this stuff, right? But I was traumatized by that video so much so that I would have these recurring nightmares of me being stuck in an airport in a long hallway, pitch black, and all I can see is the characters from that video.
I mean,
If you've never seen it,
please. First, for anybody out there, if you want the best experience, in my opinion, just listen to the song first. Mm-hmm. Then go watch the video and listen to the song. It's a completely different experience. Completely different experience.
And you know what? I can't even go back and do it the other way. I saw the video first.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I totally agree with that, though.
Yeah.
Listen to the song first because once you see the video, it's the only thing you think about.
Oh,
it's disturbing and it's so 90s that it even looks creepier.
Yeah, fun fact, the band didn't like the video.
Oh, really?
After they did it, they were like super upset with the way that the approach they took to the song because it was like completely opposite of what they were trying to do. Yeah, Black Hole Sun is supposed to be
if you don't have a music YouTube by like next week, I'm gonna kill you.
I don't know, man.
This is great. Like I would do this all the time with you.
Absolutely, man. And then we're gonna do this
like
quite often, bro. But no, like that video freaking. I mean, Black Hole Sun is supposed to be a sad song. Mm-hmm. It's a depressing song.
And you feel it. I mean, the way the guitar chords come in, it's eerie.
I mean, Chris Cornell's vocals, the range that guy has is fucking, or had, rest in peace. Fucking insane. It's fucking insane. I mean, just a different experience. One of my favorite.
That's why I always recommend Audio Slave because I think you get a version of Chris Cornell that is like, it's everything I would imagine him doing that sound would be like. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Because you get so used to Soundgarden and it's incredible. But then as soon as, oh man, you had all the elements of Audio Slave. Yeah. I remember him I could just hear his voice in everything in that era when that album came out. My God.
I mean, Chris Cornell, like I said, the range that he has, and don't take it just from me. It's music experts that say the people that actually know that guy was on another level. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, Soundgarden is my favorite Chris Cornell. But anything that Chris Cornell did was gold. His solo career, Audio Slave, Temple of the Dog. I mean,
Yeah.
that he which was before with Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam.
Yep.
Freaking just gold, fucking gold. I mean, he did a version of Black Dog, Led Zeppelin's Black Dog with Carlos Santana.
Ooh.
Freaking insane. I didn't think, and all this all respect to the great Robert Plant,
Yeah.
who was a vocalist of Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
But Chris Cornell just fucking tore that shit
Yeah.
up, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, he just took it to another level.
I mean, that he's just one of those, there's only a handful of artists that ever are able to do that.
Yeah.
To be able to change a song, like literally,
Oh, absolutely.
literally take the power and make it your own.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you can't touch greats. It's hard to touch the legends.
I mean, his favorite vocalist ever was Freddie Mercury.
Oh,
I
that
mean,
makes so much sense.
Which, I mean, fucking
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury is
Yeah.
an all-time great. I mean, the guy was insane. So I mean, he had really good influence.
Hell yeah.
I mean, but he never tried to mimic anybody else. He was
Yeah.
always himself, and that's what I loved about him. I mean, it's just, I mean, it gives you, it's the stuff that gives you chills.
Absolutely.
It's the stuff that just makes you better. But what's another one?
Well, real quick, you said something just now that you said he never tried to mimic anybody else. He was always himself. And like, if I could like even take it back into like the YouTube thing, because I totally lost this train of thought before. But
Sure.
That's the biggest thing is like every single person is capable of having a YouTube channel. The problem is every person always thinks that to be on YouTube, they need to be like this person. They need to be like this person. They need to be like this person. And the problem with that is it's really hard to grow when you're not yourself. So
Yeah.
same with Chris Cornell. Never tried to
Absolutely.
match anything.
Yeah.
He was continuing to pioneer something over and over again
yeah.
for years. And it's like watching something so beautiful like that. And then, of course, the death of Chris Cornell, which is tragic in its own way,
Right.
especially which led to the death of Chester, which
Yeah,
was
yeah.
also
Chester from
fuck.
Linkin Park.
Linkin Park.
Yeah,
I always
yeah,
forget.
Linkin
Yeah, I
Park,
forget.
Linkin
This
Park,
is
yeah.
not the music channel.
And they were like best buds too, or they were
Dude.
really good buds. Yeah.
the
yeah.
amount of tragedy losing
Yeah.
those two,
Yeah.
and also like losing David Bowie, not
Oh,
long
I mean-
within that same
and he was
era,
older too.
though.
But
he was older.
I like David Bowie. Yeah,
yeah,
I
but
really
that
do.
like I just remember there was just like pain, and then it was kind of chill, and then like Juice World died,
Yeah,
and it's like,
Yeah.
dude, oh my god,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, we don't have to go
But
down
to
that
the
track.
point that you were saying, like, be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people, they measure themselves up to those big guys. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you know those big guys were you once. You know, they just started. There's always gonna be someone better than you, better looking than you,
Yep.
faster than you, stronger than you, taller than you, whatever you want to say. The difference is just be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Just be yourself. There is a version of you out there in the universe, whatever you want to call it, that is the best version you can ever aspire to be. And all you got to do is fucking get
Tap
there.
in.
Tap in, bro. Like, tap in. But anyways, that's a conversation for another day. What's another album?
Okay, so if we're just gonna talk,
I was just
based
trying to
on,
like
if we're gonna,
emphasize your point.
yeah, no, I mean,
But it's good advice. I mean,
I
I wish
it
somebody
is.
would have told me that when I
that's
was
the thing.
starting.
I mean, imagine you being like, all right, I'm gonna be Christian Guzman.
Yeah.
Why?
No, never. I mean, the guy.
Because that guy, he works way too fucking hard for the amount of success that he has.
I mean, the guy.
He's
Anybody that's asking themselves who's Christian Guzman, you keep saying his name.
I look
Christian-
up to him. He's incredible.
Yeah, he is incredible. The guy basically started the way that I came across it. I used to power lift, and I was trying to look at different belts to use, and he was reviewing an Inzer belt, which is eventually what I ended up getting. All of a sudden, this guy, I mean, to make a long story short, he goes, takes out a loan, builds a gym, and then all of a sudden just builds this fucking fitness empire.
It's incredible.
Called Alpha Elite, right? Alpha Elite.
Alpha Elite and Alpha Land, yeah.
And then he made it super successful, sold it. He does bodybuilding now or men's physique or whatever.
Yeah.
He's super successful, super chill guy. And
But
I mean-
but imagine if you just wake up and you're like, I'm gonna be Christian Guzman. Well,
Well-
one, why? There already is one, and two, why not carve your own path? Same industry, maybe, even if that's what you want to do. Why not carve your own path? You know, like, I feel like it's a good idea to see other people's success and see other people's things and get inspired. Like, everything is inspired by something. Like,
sure.
we're talking about music. These are records
Oh,
that
yeah, for sure.
inspired everything that I do and everything I am and what I believe in, and it's all inspiration, right? So like, even when it comes to getting on YouTube, creating your own path. You can be inspired by people, but be you, because that's what shines through. And honestly, it's gonna be really hard to sit down and, press record or clock in or go in to build something in your business if you don't love it. If you don't love it, good luck.
Yeah, no, you gotta learn to love it. That's for sure. And we could sit here talking about inspirational stuff all day.
Jesus, yeah.
But let's get back to
music. Okay, so talking about inspiration, I'm a Swiftie. Like, I like Taylor Swift. I'd kill for her. I'm gonna tell you why. She writes all of her own music. She composes most of the music. Fun fact:
I went to the Packer Chiefs game. She was sitting right above me, and I kept flipping her off every time. Every time the Packers.
Hey, Swifties, YouTube channel just started. Go cancel it.
No, don't do it.
No,
I love Taylor Swift. I mean, oh man, I can't get enough of Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? Taylor Swift. I can't get enough Taylor Swift.
Go 49ers.
So the thing about this record, this is folklore. This became my favorite record from Taylor Swift, like right away, because it was such a different approach to anything she had ever done. It came out of nowhere. There was no promo, nothing. It was dark. It was folk inspired. There's so much to it, right? But this also came out at a time in my YouTube career where I feel like this album was very pivotal, because I did a video to this album. It did get a lot of views, and I feel like my life kind of changed with this album. My career changed, my channel, everything was exponentially. So I hold a lot of just like love and respect for this record. I also believe that almost every person, for the most part, I could find the right song to match any person who doesn't know Taylor Swift music. If I didn't tell you it was Taylor Swift, but I played the right song, you'd like her without knowing it was her. Because I do believe she comes with a bias baggage from a lot of people.
Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. There's some songs that are catchy, like "The Player's Gonna Hate That" bullshit. I mean, it's catchy. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's not my go-to.
Sure,
I can understand that. One thing I cannot understand, though, is hating someone for being extremely successful.
Which is, I think, all that she gets is because of that.
I do not get that. I mean, more power to her. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, she inspires more women to be. Yeah. I mean, do something that they're passionate about, and just you never know. That's somebody that believed in themselves. I mean, at the end of the day,
you know what though? I think that's the thing. Like, regardless if you like or don't like her music, her as a person, whatever. That really was from the ground up, trying so hard, showing up at record labels and handing her demo. I mean, like, groundwork. And guess what?
Those are
she's a billionaire now.
Yeah.
And she's still performing 3 hours a night. So what are we doing? You know, why the fuck didn't I get up an hour earlier?
No, to the points that we're trying to make the whole
crazy,
podcast.
Right?
Love what you do. Love what you do.
Yeah.
The money will follow. Trust the process.
Yeah.
Trust the process.
I absolutely. And I can't say that enough. So this album just holds a lot of regard because trusting the process, this was the result. I did this video and my life did change that night.
And for any Swifties out there, I'm going to have Steven on here very frequently. You guys want to hear more about Taylor Swift? I mean,
I bet. Give me a couple months and the video we're gonna shoot together, and I can at least get him to tolerate Taylor Swift. You'd wait. Oh, and that wasn't a pun, Swifties.
Her music. All right. Well, my third album that I can listen to from beginning to end, it is from one of my favorite bands of all time. This band is definitely, I would say, they have more of a cult following. More of a cult following. You know the band that I'm about to mention.
Okay.
But the album came out in 1996. The name of the album is Anima, and it's weirdly spelled. I don't know why, but it's how the band goes.
Oh, okay. I do know who we're talking about.
The band is Tool. I mean, if we could get a graphic here of the album Anima. And I was battling between Lateralis, which came out in 2001, or between them or that album, Lateralis or Anima. And I ended up going with Anima because Anima. You ever had this situation where you start a song and you skip it just because you don't want to go through like the intro?
Yes.
And then you go back after skipping it so many times. I know it's happened to a lot of people. You go back to skipping it, and then you listen to the song, and you're like, "Oh my God, I've been skipping this fucking song this whole time." That song ended up being my favorite all-time Tool song, which is saying a lot because I fucking love Tool. Over my previously favorite Tool song, Lateralis, from the album Lateralis. The song is called Third Eye, and it's the very last song of Anima, the album Anima. But Anima has, this is probably the one album that I could see most people like checking out, and they're like, "What the fuck is this?" You know. But in my opinion, Maynard James Keenan, who is the frontman, vocalist / lyricist, is the greatest lyricist of our generation. I mean, the lyrics are just so freaking other level that unless you pay attention to them, you're like gonna be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? But it's fucking deep, bro.
I feel like I've always heard that about Tool. That it's like very. It's a very big. I have a question.
Yeah, go
so
ahead.
I used to react to. I react to a couple of Tool songs before. Why are the fans so mean?
Because
I don't think all Tool fans are mean, but
And
like
you gotta
I was actually really positive. I really enjoyed the song. I'll never react to Tool again because I got so sick of blocking the comments that were so mean,
bro. Like if you don't say,
and I liked it.
Oh my god, if you.
I didn't even criticize it. I liked
this is exactly why, because I belong to a Tool group on Facebook.
It was him, right?
Bro, if you fucking say something about a song, like this, that's the whole point of Tool. Let's say that we listen to the same song and you're like, oh my god, this song speaks about metaphysics or whatever, the whatever you want to say, universe or what this. And I'm like, bro, this is a song about pain and dealing with the self. If you say something like that, the song says something to you that doesn't say. It's not the same for everybody else.
Yeah.
They'll fucking attack you, bro.
Yeah,
sorry, my wording was all stupid there, but no, you know what I mean. Yeah,
that's exactly what I think was going on.
Yeah.
And one thing I talk about on my channel all the time is I always look at every album in the sense of the artist who wrote the album and what this album is about, and then I try to think about the lyrics. But most of the time, I'll be like, oh, here's what I'm feeling based on these lyrics. And I bet that's exactly what happened, is because I'm sure it was like Sober or something. And I think
that's Sober from, and this how much I love the song. That's Sober from Undertow. That was their first album, first studio album that came out.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, Sober
great song.
Sober is one of their more mainstream songs.
Yeah, I recognize the melody
for sure. That was able to like you'll listen to that song on the radio. You won't listen to a lot of Tool songs on the radio, but Sober is definitely one of them. And
I did hear some stuff off of their last album they put out like in 2019.
Fear Inoculum. Yeah.
Did you like that one?
I did like them. It is my least favorite Tool album, which I still love it, but it's my
It was a long
favorite.
wait
It's
for
my
that
least
one.
favorite.
It was a long wait.
It was like 2006 was the last time they came
Yeah.
out. That was 10,000 Days. The album called 10,000 Days in 2006. And then Fear Inoculum came out in 2017, 18, something like that.
Yeah.
Right before COVID hit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a long wait. And
The hype was real. I saw lines at the record store. There were lines to get the record.
I bought it. I bought it right away. I mean, they had us waiting for forever. So, yeah, no. Anima, that is their second album, a studio album that came out in 1996. That is my favorite Tool album. Song per song, my favorite Tool album. Closely followed by Lateralis. Lateralis has a lot of heavy hitters, but I don't know if I could listen to it every single song from beginning to end and not be like, I have to skip this fucking song, you know? And Anima is one of those. I mean, another fucking album that any song that you play, I'll be fucking listening to that shit while I'm fucking pumping at the gym.
Hell yeah.
Working out, whatever. Hell yeah. Training.
See, I feel like a lot of people got to learn this about you. Like, luckily, we were able to catch the wave on music right away.
Absolutely.
But like, I mean, people probably don't know this about you.
And it's funny you say that because I feel like most of the time when people like they meet me, they're like, "Oh, this guy likes the mainstream hip hop or whatever is out there, like Drake or whatever, whoever the hot." And it's totally the opposite, dude. My go-to is classic rock.
Yeah,
I love hip hop. Don't get me wrong. There's some stuff that I like, but I'm very picky with my music, especially the newer stuff. But yeah, no, it's like you said.
All right, I'm gonna fire questions at you.
Go ahead.
System of a Down's Toxicity.
Love it. Fucking love it.
Front to back, one of the best albums of all time.
I don't know if I've ever listened to it front to back, but Toxicity is my favorite System of a Down album. The song Toxicity
it's so
freaking
good.
amazing.
Yeah.
BYOB is not from there, right?
No, that's that Steal This Album, I think.
That's one of my favorites.
And then they had like songs. Mesmerize. I'm a really big fan of Toxicity and the first album.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them were, but I mean,
they have that Chop Suey. I mean, that's another one of their popular songs. BYOB is one of my favorites. Probably my favorite. Toxicity's up there.
Sure.
I love that. Spiders. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that song is so good. Aerials, and there's another one called Hypnotize.
Oh, yeah.
I
yeah.
fucking love that song.
Yeah.
And it's more of a mellow.
Yeah. What about favorite Nirvana record?
Favorite Nirvana record, hands down, has to be Nevermind.
It's so good.
Nevermind, and that one was a close runner-up to the top 3 albums that I was going to mention, but it just got etched out barely by the other 3.
I'm in a YouTube group. There's just a handful of us, and we meet and I'm not gonna say who's in it because I don't know if everybody wants to know who's in it, but there's only like 4 of us or 5 of us. One of the dudes that's in it, he totally produced some of Nirvana's songs.
No doubt,
dude.
No bullshit.
If I'll send you the playlist of all the songs that he has produced before. He's an older guy, dude.
Are you fucking serious?
I didn't know this. I was in this group for so long, I didn't even know what he told me, and I was like, "Wait, what?" And he started naming these bands that he produced for in his studio, and Nirvana was one of them, and I like could not believe that.
That's fucking insane.
So not all of Nirvana's music, but he has production credits on Nirvana's work.
So he met. Kurt
Yeah,
Cobain,
definitely. I've never asked him, but I definitely.
Yeah,
So
damn. Yeah.
So sick. Nevermind is literally like every album is so good, but Nevermind was just different.
There is another album that I might actually change, give the edge to over Nevermind. And that was their last album that came out, self-titled Nirvana.
Yeah.
It was a black album. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. And
Yeah, I
the
have
very
them all
last
at home.
song that Kurt Cobain recorded before he passed, it's called You're Right. I don't know if you ever heard it. And it came out in that album. And that one also has like Come As You Are.
Yeah.
It Smells Like Teen Spirit. They're heavy hitters, so it's kind of like a compilation. But it
Smells Like Teen Spirit's on Nevermind, isn't it?
It is. And
I'm
so it's
sorry.
Come As You Are.
I'm sorry. This is it's like a collaboration album of all their big hits.
It was their last album that was released. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the last studio album that was released, and it had the very last song that Kurt Cobain recorded called "You're Right."
Okay,
that's the name of the song.
Okay,
and the album name is self-titled. Nirvana.
Self-titled. Okay,
Nirvana. And it has a collection. It has
Well, it sounds familiar. Yeah.
The other song, one of my favorite ones, Heart Shaped Box.
Oh yeah.
That is on there. But yeah, no, Nevermind. It was amazing, dude. I mean, Come As You Are is my favorite Nirvana song. I think Smells Like Teen Spirit is fucking overrated.
It's definitely.
I think it's overrated, bro. It's a good song. Don't get me wrong. But it's definitely not even close to being there. Kurt Cobain said that was they hated playing that song.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like you make that one banger in the studio one day, you don't realize that it's gonna do that. Even my favorite band is Bayside. They've been my favorite band for like 15, 16 years at this point, and their biggest song is Devotion and Desire. I've heard it too many times. I don't know. I have the ick. I literally can't listen to it. It makes me feel sick, but I could listen to every song from them ever. I just can't stand that. Even when I see them live, it's the last song they always play, and I always leave right before it.
I have a question for you.
Yo.
How good is fucking Nirvana Unplugged, MTV?
Okay, seriously, I almost brought that record. Was that a joke? I almost brought that.
Bro.
That is one of the.
You almost brought it, but you didn't bring it.
Well, because I didn't think I was good. Well, because I thought I should bring stuff that like isn't obvious.
Yeah.
You know, like that's my whole channel. My whole channel is just what's not obvious. You don't expect like people get on my channel. I get the comment all the time like, didn't expect a tattooed guy to be talking about One Direction. They're all tattooed. Why is it weird that I'm okay? Anyways,
but how good is that?
Dude, Unplugged is got to be a pivotal moment in musical history. It had to be a moment when.
I mean, I don't think anybody expected that to be that good. They were probably like, "What the fuck? These guys, grunge rock is gonna play Unplugged." Fucking
yeah.
Like you said, a turning point in music.
Did you get a chance to? I should have brought the record. Have you had a chance to hear it? Like on vinyl, the press that they were even selling it at Target. I bought one, but they put Unplugged on vinyl. Dude, it sounds so good.
I've never listened to it on vinyl. I do have the CD. Obviously, I have it on Spotify.
I mean, it sounds great anyway.
And I've seen from beginning to end the YouTube.
Then you've heard it. It's great. I mean, it's fucking.
Yeah, when Kurt Cobain jokes, the very last song that they play, such a fucking, oh my God, dude, he fucking killed it. Where did you sleep last night?
Yeah.
Right before that, he's joking about, because Lead Belly is his favorite artist of all time. He was trying to buy the Lead Belly guitar. The Lead Belly estate was trying to sell him the Lead Belly's guitar.
Yeah.
and he was joking about I think his trying to get his manager or
Yeah.
his producer to buy him the guitar for $500,000, which back in the day, 1990,
That's a lot of money.
94 was it?
Yeah.
1994, $500,000 was like crazy, even for somebody like Kurt Cobain.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, it's freaking amazing. I mean, unfiltered,
Yeah.
raw, and if you see the video of Kurt Cobain singing, you could just see raw emotion.
Oh, yeah.
And it gets even more eerie because that was like 3-4 months before he committed suicide. Committed suicide, by the way. I believe.
Yeah, it's crazy because you never really know what's like. Anytime I see these pictures, like I saw a picture of Robin Williams just like a few days. It was like one of his last photos before he died, and it's like, what were you going through, dude? Like, what wavelength? But talking about that unplugged, just that whole point of it being so raw and imperfect, and that's what's so great about it. I talk about this on my channel all the time. Like, that's what I want. Like, I love a studio record. I love when a record sounds amazing. Jack Antonoff produced this. And it sounds amazing.
Sure.
But I want to hear it live. Like, I just feel like, I feel like
it's a different experience.
And you know what though? And it's really hard to go back to a record once you've heard it live, because you go back to the record and it feels so perfect and you love it, but you just remember that grittiness. You remember that it was a little out of tune, and you remember like, fuck, this is so good.
Like I said, raw, bro. Just raw. I mean, and that's.
But even Kurt just talking, I mean, that's historical moments because, like, you know, to him it probably didn't matter, but it's so significant to people that, you know, really look up to him and them. And
you get to meet Kurt the person, not Kurt the performer. I mean, or the artist, whatever. Like you said, like if you ever see Taylor Swift in concert, you get to see a little bit of her human side, because they're human too. I mean, they're human.
I actually argue that the music gets better once you know, like, the human side of them. I actually feel like I appreciate the music more. Makes it hard to separate the art from the artist when you start to do that. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like you with Kurt Cobain, like, or you with even Chris Cornell. Yeah. It's just, once you know more about them as people, they're more impactful musicians to me.
Don't get me started on Chris Cornell, man. That guy was. We can all aspire to be half as good of a human being as he was. Yeah. I mean, even after death, his wife, the Chris Cornell estate, they do so much for the children of the world. I mean, I got my conspiracy theories about that, but that's a conversation for another day.
But
about his death, you know, it's
I've never looked into anything about it.
Oh man, it's
messed up.
Gonna fuck you up, dude. Like,
maybe we'll
save that for another day, bro. But it's gonna fuck you up, dude. Like, and I'm a true believer. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, really?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm interested. I'm open. I'm interested to look. I never look into anything like that because it's just sad.
So just such a great person, human
being.
Dude,
isn't that kind of interesting too? Because, like, I think from the outside, society would look at Chris Cornell not from a musical standpoint, just look at his image, look at the fact that he was involved in rock music and stuff, and they probably immediately attach their own stereotypes to him. Alcoholic, drug user, no good, whatever, because that is just what society's always kind of looked at, like with punk and all this stuff. But, like, you find out about, even after death, all that he's still doing. Yeah. And I think that's really, like, the most punk rock thing. Like, it's not just about making the music, but it's fucking living the shit even after the fact. Yeah. And that's so sick to me.
And he dedicated his life to his foundation called The Promise. Anybody look it up. I mean, they just...
I've never heard of it. So
cool. The Promise. It's called The Promise. And they just do so much for the world.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Especially the children. I mean, he was a true believer in saving children from really cool. anything. And I do mean anything. I mean, yeah.
I'm going to assume that's probably part of his story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Dude, absolutely. Yeah. I mean...
Makes a lot of sense.
And now his wife, I believe her name is Vicky Cornell. She's the one at the helm of that, which is great. And they just got over a huge, like... And I know this because I keep tabs on them.
I was just not my whole audience.
Yeah, absolutely. And
wait. How are you not standing Chris Cornell right now? Because that's what you're doing.
I mean, he's my favorite. Like I said, I truly mean it. He's my favorite. All time.
No, he's amazing.
And I mean, I keep tabs on him, and I'm super excited because there is gonna be Soundgarden music being released within the next year.
Like unheard?
That they recorded that they never released. There was a huge lawsuit and stuff that. You know how that goes.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, and so there was another, like, huge, like, lawsuit with the foundation and the wife and the Chris Cornell estate getting threats and stuff like that by, I mean, whatever you want to call it. and they finally were able to do it. But I mean,
You can't do shit nice.
you can't do shit, bro. You can't because you're exposing a lot of crap out there.
Yeah.
I mean, but like I said, that's a conversation for another day.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah,
I didn't
for
know
sure.
that about him, so that's
Sure.
cool.
Oh yeah, dude, he's freaking amazing human being.
I'm being serious about the music thing. Like you could do this.
No, bro.
No, I'm serious because talking to
You
you,
guys couldn't tell. I am passionate about the music
No,
that
but-
I love.
and I'm so interested, which
For sure,
which
bro.
is how I know that like you'd be so good at this because we're talking about genres that I'm familiar with. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
these artists. I
Yeah.
love these, but you're giving me insight in a way that like I don't
Oh,
really
for sure.
get.
For sure. And that's the whole point of students of the game, you know? It's getting perspectives and different points of view from all aspects of life.
Yeah.
You know? I didn't want to make a podcast or create content only on one specific
Yeah.
topic or whatever, because that's what life is about.
Mm-hmm.
About getting other people's perspectives, bringing on people and getting to share what they're passionate about. And just listening and maybe
Hell
you
yeah.
could and coexisting. I mean,
Hell yeah.
that's the beautiful thing about
But there's also this cool moment though where like entrepreneurship is so sick that like we were able to just schedule in this moment
Oh,
to
absolutely,
be able to do this because
mean-
we are both very lucky to set our own schedules.
Oh,
Which
for
is,
sure.
I think so many people like I took that for granted until I realized like, dude, sometimes it's not just money that equates to success. Sometimes it's setting up a podcast to hang
Yeah.
out because you got extra time after you already worked this business that you created. That's so sick to me.
and we live in a beautiful time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're able to share our stories with people on the other side of the globe
Amazing.
almost instantly.
Yeah.
And that's just amazing.
So sick.
For anybody that's not taking advantage of that, I mean, you need to wake up and I mean realize how lucky and fortunate we are to be living in this time. I mean, and age. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for another time in the history of the world.
And while I feel like you know maybe being a YouTuber is not for everybody, and I don't.
Yeah, no,
think-
absolutely.
And I don't.
and anything that you're doing in life doesn't necessarily have to be a YouTuber.
No, not at
I
all.
mean,
That's the thing. It's like you don't. It's not even about being a YouTuber. It's just like maybe YouTube's not your thing, but maybe you're creative in something else, or maybe you have drive to do something else. Like I think people forget that sometimes just putting passion into something, law of attraction, putting passion into something, putting energy into something,
Yeah.
it equates to things that you don't understand. And I feel like we live in a world where there's so much opportunity that exists at our fingertips.
Absolutely.
That it's almost, I'm not saying it's a choice because it's definitely not, but you have so many options to change whatever you're stuck in. Like there's so much, even like I'm not a TikToker, but I see people on TikTok, no followers or anything. And then before you know it, they've got this career. And I'm not saying everybody's going to do that, but I'm saying like that, the fact that exists and that it's available for anyone to take, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And all it is having a capacity to virtualize and understand that not everybody is as lucky as we are. I am lucky enough to have these resources at my disposal, but I also act as with a responsibility. It's a responsibility to the rest of the people that do not have the resources
Yeah.
that I do to do something with them. Because I mean, if you're just going through life like whatever, fuck it. I mean, then you only got yourself to blame for your reality.
Totally.
I mean, and again, I mean, yeah, like Steven said, you don't have to necessarily be aspiring to be a YouTuber. You could be an athlete, a doctor,
Hell yeah.
a lawyer. I mean, politician, whatever
Fucking
it
a
is.
chef.
Just fucking grind, dude. Day in,
That's
day out.
it.
Do the day in, day out. Fucking shit. Sooner or later, you're gonna look back and you'll be like, "Holy shit, that's my trail that behind me. That look how far I've come." I mean, and that's because you did the day in, day out, even when you weren't fucking feeling well, when you were tired, when you were not motivated. And that's where me and you find ourselves. I mean,
Yeah.
and like I said,
that's what's the quote? It's like Arnold said it or something, but it's like literally do the thing or don't, but it doesn't matter. The time's gonna pass.
I literally
anyways.
saw that quote yesterday on Instagram. It said, whether you do it or not, time's still gonna pass by. Time doesn't give a shit. Time's
No,
gonna-
dude, and I'd love to tell you that that's not true, but I can tell you there were decisions I made when I was like 24 or 25 that would have been great businesses that I didn't do because I didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Cool, they would have been great
Yeah.
They would have been great now.
We keep going off topic, but I mean, these are all just great things. And again, man, I can't express to you how happy I am to have you on here because I'm aspiring to be like you. I really am. I truly mean that. Yeah, you are super inspiring, and your success is just. It didn't happen because of luck. It didn't happen. It happened because you put in the work.
I appreciate that.
You know? So, moving on to another question that I wanted to make you, and we're staying in the music topic. What is one artist / band / group that you wish you could see live if you had a magic wand? That's the one that you would see live that you no longer can for whatever reason, whether they're dead, whether they're not touring anymore, they're too old or whatever. I mean, what is one artist or band?
Okay. So a couple acts come to mind. I would say it would have been amazing. I can't see this now because the time has passed.
Yeah.
But if I could have seen like Black Flag, I don't know if you're familiar with Black Flag.
Do they sing a song called My War?
Yeah.
I know that because of Grand Theft Auto.
Okay, well, I love that this just happened. But if I could see Black Flag, like, I would say, like, when
one of my favorite songs on Grand Theft Auto 5, by the way.
It's fucking great.
It's freaking crazy, dude.
Dude.
It's like, it reminds me of like Sex Pistols.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So that is more of, that was the, Black Flag was kind of like, everything was kind of being birthed for the hardcore punk.
For sure.
I would have loved to have seen Black Flag when they first got Henry Rollins. I'm a big fan of Keith so have you ever heard of Circle Jerks?
No.
Okay,
No,
Circle
no,
Jerks,
no.
like around the same time as Black Flag. Keith actually sang on the first 5 Black Flag. Doesn't matter. I could do this all day too with you.
For sure.
But I would have loved to see Black Flag at these small venues. They were really violent. It was a time when the music was so shocking at that time because punk and hardcore was kind of like, it was like a new kind of thing, and it was really catching a wave. These days, bands are very heavy and nothing really surprises you anymore.
Right.
But at that time, especially with someone like Henry Rollins at the front, I mean, he would get brutally assaulted every night. Like, they were just punching him. He's bleeding, and he's just like, it was amazing. So if I could see that, or
a bunch of mosh pits in their audience.
It was very violent. Yeah. So I would have loved to see that, and if I could see the original Misfits lineup play within the first 2 years that they were a band, that would have been amazing.
Nice.
Can't see them anymore because time passed. They got older. It's not the same.
For sure.
What about you?
Yeah. So for me, it's easy. I mean, we've been mentioning the
Chris
guy,
Cornell.
Chris Cornell.
Hell yeah.
But I do have another group. But yeah, Chris Cornell. If I had a magic wand and it gun to my head.
What era would you have liked to see? Because remember, you could pick. You get to go there.
I mean, 1990s Soundgarden.
Okay.
Like at the post Super Unknown, I would have fucking killed to see Chris Cornell perform.
I know you don't do drugs, but you would have done acid there. You would have had no choice.
I mean,
I feel
I am pretty good against peer pressure. I really am. I mean,
but it's Chris Cornell.
That's why. I mean, I'm a fitness guy, so I'm Mr. Clean over here, dude. But no, yeah, I hate it. I went to a Tool fucking concert for crying out loud. All you could fucking smell was pot all over. I mean, and then...
and it was at Pfizer?
We ran into, and my brother's going to love this, we ran into this guy who, he definitely did something. He was like probably tripping off of acid.
Oh, no.
Bro, this guy almost followed us home. He almost got into our car because he like... fell in love with my brother.
What?
I kid you not. He wanted to like
oh man
do something with my brother.
You like your brother's mustache.
Bro, like we had to lose him, bro. And he smelled horrible, bro.
Oh no.
My God, it was fucking disgusting.
Oh, no.
But
was he at the show?
Yeah,
he was an attendee.
Yeah, he was yeah, I was
That's
I
even better.
Tool. I saw Tool
That's
live.
even better.
Yeah, so I mean that's what I'm saying. Like if I can handle a fucking Tool concert, I can handle anything else. Yeah, really. So
it just would have been sick because like I've seen some of the footage of the old Soundgarden shows out in those big fields, like no one has a shirt on.
Bro, the one that I would have loved to been in is this one where they did it in Brazil, in Rio. Holy fuck, bro.
Brazil fans.
No
joke.
Brazil fans,
most supportive people in the world.
Oh, they're a different breed, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, them and Mexicans when it comes to like soccer, bro, or just having a good time overall, and European, some of the Eastern European like football fans.
Oh, sure.
Those guys are fucking crazy,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
in England and the UK. But yeah, Chris Cornell hands down. But close second. If I had to pick, it would be Chris Cornell. But close second would be Led Zeppelin. I mean, a reunion of Led Zeppelin. Me and my dad told ourselves that if they ever decide to tour again, which they will never get the 4 original because John Bonham died back in 1980, I believe he died. So even before we were born. But yeah, Led Zeppelin would be the other one.
Have you seen the drummer's son tours?
Yeah. So
did you go to that?
Jason Bonham? No, I didn't.
It was at the rave. I saw that.
That was back in like 2007.
Oh no, he just did it again.
With the
He just did it by himself.
Yeah, by himself.
He was playing his son was playing the Led Zeppelin set list.
I was lucky enough to see Sir Robert Plant, who is the vocalist. Me and my dad went to go see him.
Where?
In Chicago. Yeah, and we were almost. This guy ended up rescheduling his concert. I was so afraid that he was gonna cancel it because he had he was sick, laryngitis or something.
Sure,
I don't know. But he actually rescheduled to like 3 months after that. So we were almost on our way, dude. And luckily, I got a text or email saying, "Hey, due to Robert Plant being sick, I have to reschedule." So we were bummed out, but we eventually got the chance to go see him live, and it was. I wouldn't say it was like the most exciting concert I've ever been to, but just the fact that I got to witness him.
It's historical.
Was probably arguably my favorite concert that I've ever been to. And the experience with my dad, this is music that is so near and dear to both of us.
I love that. I love that you
I
have
told
that
my
connection.
dad, I was like, I mean, I want my dad to live forever, but when he passes away, if he passes away before me, I told him I don't want anything else. I just want that fucking Led Zeppelin box. My mom already has it hidden. So I told her to hide it. Yeah, for me. And I basically told my ass, just let me fucking have it. Just have it sitting there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just my prized possession.
That's because I love that your dad is.
You don't even fucking use it. Let me get it, man.
You need your dad on here.
Yeah, I will. I will have him here. But yeah, so yeah, Chris Cornell followed by Led Zeppelin reunion.
That'd be very cool.
I think they're done touring and they're so fucking old. I mean, being able to see Jimmy Page, if he ever toured, I'm there. I don't give a fuck where it is, dude. I'm there. I mean, that is one of my favorite guitarists of all time.
Sure.
In my top 5 all time, as far as rock goes.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah, that would be
pretty incredible.
Oh, he's the riff king, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's fucking amazing. But
I love this. So many people would never know all this about you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. I mean, it's
always interesting to learn about people on I mean, I got to know this about you because that's what we picked up on.
For sure.
The average person, it's if you there's just
layers,
in general,
layers, bro.
With
There's
every
layers.
person. That's why I'm I try to be so open minded about people because you don't know what someone's going through and you also don't know who they are.
Absolutely.
I feel like even the people that see us online, see you in person, see me in person. When I meet people online that follow me, it's the greatest feeling in the world, right? And then it also makes it real. Because I think to myself, I just talked to this camera and there's nobody watching. And I meet somebody and I'm like, oh my God, this is real.
Absolutely.
So
yeah. No, that's amazing. But yeah, no, I'm glad we were able to share. I mean, we're both passionate about music, but to share our reasoning behind why we love what we love in terms of music. But yeah, Steven, I mean, any other advice, anything else that you'd like to share with the audience in terms of what it takes to be successful in the YouTube content creating world? Yeah,
I think that these days when you look at content creation, it's overwhelming. There's a billion people making content. There's a billion people making videos. There's, like you said earlier, someone's better looking than you. Someone is more talented than you. But guess what? You can still do it. And that's just like when we talked.
Yeah.
You can do this, dude.
Yeah.
Show up. That's it. And it's so easy for me to say that on this side of it.
And
but there's a version.
Sorry to cut you off. Sorry if we're getting repetitive. I mean, but it can't be enforced enough.
I can't even make this up. I could write you a formula right now. And the first thing I would say is fucking show up. That's it.
Exactly.
I'm proof of that. I had a job. I was working more than 40 hours a week, but I just showed up to YouTube that paid me nothing until it paid me something. And I didn't even do it for the money. It was a great outlet. I love talking about music. I could sit here. It could be 3 hours. I wouldn't have even known. Time could just pass, right? And then when I'm not filming, I'm making music. I'm
Exactly.
spending hours doing this. Like when you do what you are passionate about, I wake up and go to sleep and feel like an hour just happened.
Absolutely.
Because I can do this all day. And I think that if you can find something that does that and that you love, even if you're poor from it and you happen to make money from it, I'm very fortunate. I know that. And I know it's not luck, but there is timing and everything. And I would say that this record and COVID is the reason I was able to like solidify a career. I was making money. I haven't had to work like a regular job since 2018. So I was making money, but I did not go through the motions of being somebody who never had money to have money until it was 2020.
Yeah.
And my whole life changed.
Beautifully put, bro. Beautifully put. And
Show
there's
up.
no such thing as luck. I don't believe in luck.
Yeah.
I believe in being prepared.
Yeah.
And taking advantage of opportunity when it knocks at your door.
And take the advantages of the opportunities.
Absolutely.
I've said no to a lot of them that in hindsight would have been really smart for me because of anxiety or depression or whatever. I've said no to them. And if I could go back, I'd punch myself in the face for that because I've had opportunities to just things that are sickening that I didn't take but this year's different. I said yes to this. I'm going to be traveling out to do something else somewhere else. But the point being, like, I've always said no to those things. Take the opportunities. This is an opportunity.
Yes.
Meeting you was an opportunity.
Yes.
You wanting to do this, you saw an opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and when I met you, you already wanted to do a podcast.
Yes.
It's
yes,
not like you
yes.
met me and said, I'm going to do what he does.
No, not
Like,
at all.
I want to make that clear. Like,
Yeah, no,
I didn't
no,
like
no.
meet Pablo and now Pablo's a YouTuber. It was more like Pablo was like, hey, do you have any advice? I want to start a podcast. I'm already working on it here. What do you have advice for? Before you know it, turns out we're on a lot of the same wavelengths when it comes to
yeah.
this stuff. So
Again, seizing opportunity. I mean, opportunity doesn't come knocking off often, but when it does, you better make sure that you seize it and take advantage of it to the fullest. And you never know what can come out of it.
no, and I say no to almost everybody. And he asked me enough times that I said yes, which is persistence. It's really important because I would have
I was
just
harassing you.
But
just
no, but you don't understand how important that is because
Yeah,
like I have
absolutely.
ADHD. I could say yes and then I'll be like, oh fuck, I don't want to
I
do
found
that.
out that the hard way, by the way. But
Yeah. But guess what? I'm like it works like persistence. And that's the thing. Like I mean, I work alone. So like I'm so used to being like, fuck you. I don't want to work to myself.
Yeah,
I'm not
for
gonna
sure.
work. Pablo's like, nah, dude, this is gonna be sick. You want to do this? Let's do it. So he did not like try to catch a wave.
No,
you
not
really
at all.
wanted to
Not
do
at all.
this, and I love that because every time I meet somebody that like I'm not like that close with, they're always like, all right, I'm starting my YouTube channel. Like I hear it all the time, and I think anybody in anything, you have a gym. Hey, bro, I'm starting a gym too. Hey,
Yeah,
dude, I
yeah.
want to. What kind of equipment can you get? Like
Yeah, for sure, for
everybody thinks they do the job, and I think that we get so involved.
You can't copy and paste. That's not how life works. You gotta make it your own. But yeah, like he said, being persistent, persevering, just taking advantage of the opportunities and creating your own opportunities too. I mean,
and
it's just-
appreciating them for what they are.
Absolutely.
I think me saying no to those opportunities, it was no because I was like fearful of something or maybe that's why I didn't do it. But in hindsight, like those are opportunities that I was very fortunate to even be considered for. And it's like, if you have that opportunity, take it because most people aren't going to get it.
Yes. Well put. Well, Steven, if you want to share with the audience what we're going to be doing to the point that you were saying, what we're going to be doing in your channel, it's a first time ever.
Yeah.
And I feel honored, but I'm going to let Steven explain to you guys what we're going to be doing over at his channel, which is Steven in Stereo, right?
Yeah.
Steven in Stereo. We'll have the link in the bio, in the description, so you guys can go and check him out, subscribe to his channel as well. Go ahead, tell him what we're going to be doing.
So like I said, I make reaction content. Basically what that is I play music. We review it live as it's happening. So, I know he likes rock and I've heard him say some things about pop music in the past. And you guys know I'm very open-minded about music. And I actually do believe that you can't criticize a band on the singles. And if you find the right sound, every artist is good. I guarantee it. So I thought for my channel would be fun is because you like the rock stuff, what if I could find a little bit edgier? So not necessarily full on rock songs. I'm gonna show you pop music.
Sure.
These are
course.
pop artists. They're Grammy winners. You name it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show the most rock version of them I can. I want to hear your positive thoughts about them.
You got it, man.
I also
I'm
I want
excited.
to know some things that you're critical about too. But my biggest thing is I try to get people's perspective to shift. I want you to, if you go in open minded with a positive attitude, I can't imagine you leaving not liking something. And I pick some good ones.
And that's what I'm going. That's my approach to it too. I like I said, pop is not my go-to.
Absolutely.
And but
Yeah.
who knows, man? Maybe I listen to a song and I'm like, God damn, dude. Like I'm open minded. Like
Exactly.
you said, I'm gonna be open minded.
I heard you talk about music. So I know that I know that your thoughts on music are deeper than I don't listen to pop music. Like I know
No,
that.
not at all.
Like
Not at
like
all.
and so I think you'll appreciate even if you don't end up liking the bands, you'll appreciate what I showed you and be like, wow, I never thought that band sounded like that.
Yeah, for sure. No, and I'm super excited. I'm gonna be the first ever.
Oh yeah, so this is my first collab,
Yeah,
by the way.
collab.
I've again vehemently always said no to everything. I'm changing that, and it's just made sense. It's the most natural type of collaboration we could do. And I will say at first we were trying to juggle what kind of idea would make sense. Like we didn't want to just do a collaboration just to do it.
For sure.
Once we started talking about music, it just made so much sense.
Absolutely. So I'm excited. Definitely check that out. Steven, thank you so much. I mean, we're going to wrap it up right here. Thank you so much for being here, bro. I really appreciate it. I cannot thank you enough.
Absolutely.
And I am super excited to be featured on your channel. If you guys want to continue to listen to more podcasts, get more content like this, please hit the like and subscribe button. Follow us on our social media pages as well, Instagram, TikTok. And just stay tuned for more Students of the Game podcast, more Students of the Game content in the future. Thank you so much for listening, and never, ever compromise excellence.